With an estimated net worth of around $400 million, Sylvester Stallone is one of the richest stars in Hollywood. Despite this, some fans have been questioning the star's financial status after a viral video came to light that claimed to show an abandoned property that he formerly occupied. Join Facts First as we explore how Sylvester Stallone's abandoned home hides troubling secrets. Recently, a viral video came to light claiming to show footage of an abandoned property formerly occupied by Hollywood star Sylvester Stallone. The video came as a result of the urban explorer craze. Urban explorers are people who explore abandoned properties, typically for the purposes of filming the escapades and uploading them on the internet. Most of the time, the videos uploaded are only of interest to other urban explorers. But the video that claimed to show footage of Sylvester Stallone's property appealed to another demographic. That demographic is fans of the revered Rocky and Rambo actor. The video showed an abandoned brick house with a yard that had long since become overgrown. The house appeared as if whoever had previously occupied it had left in the spur of the moment, as there was food rotting in the refrigerator. There were also a plethora of luxury cars that had seemingly been abandoned on the property. Fans of Stallone know that the actor is a fan of luxury cars, but the simple fact of there being luxury cars wasn't the only thing that caused them to theorize that it belonged to Sylvester. The biggest clue was vanity license plates featured on the vehicles. There were numerous license plates featuring Sylvester's nickname Sly, including plates that said Sly, Sly 2, and Sly 3. Even more suspicious, one of the license plates was featured on a Clenet luxury car. These cars are especially rare, and Sylvester is known to own one. Fact checkers have been keeping busy. The video was apparently of a property found in Maryland, with the license plates being registered either in Maryland or Washington, D.C. After the video went viral, Stallone fans got a hold of Maryland authorities and were able to determine that the cars with Maryland license plates were registered to someone other than Sly Stallone. But this information has yet to be gathered for the Washington, D.C. plates. The fact that the Maryland cars aren't registered to Stallone may seem like proof that the star is not the owner. However, it's possible the actor had the cars registered under a different name or to someone else. Another piece of evidence is the fact that the actor grew up in Maryland, and he grew up in a brick house. Because of this, many have speculated that the property is none other than the childhood home of the actor. Fans believe he may have purchased his childhood home for nostalgic purposes, only to abandon it due to financial difficulties. There is certainly a lot of evidence suggesting that the video was, in fact, a document of Sylvester Stallone's decaying wealth. However, there seems to be more evidence suggesting that the property belonged to someone else entirely. Besides the Maryland cars being registered to someone else, there's also the fact of the matter that the star's childhood home has been put on the market several times in the past few years, and that it doesn't match up with the layout of the property featured in the video. The property has a giant yard, whereas Sly's childhood home doesn't. Did the property belong to a Frenchman? Scrolling through the responses on the viral Urban Explorers video, many people have suggested it belonged to a wealthy Frenchman who passed away a few years ago. This man was known to have purchased cars that formerly belonged to Sylvester Stallone, which could explain the vanity license plates. As far as the presence of the rare Clenet, this also could be explained by the wealthy Frenchman theory. The Frenchman who was supposed to have owned the property was the brother of the Clenet creator. The wealthy Frenchman theory garnered a lot of traction after it was posted via YouTube comments, but it has since been largely debunked. It's certainly true that the brother of the Clenet creator passed away and left a lot of cars in property limbo. It's also true that these cars included a Clenet and some other vehicles that had been purchased from Stallone at some point. But the abandoned property of this late Frenchman has since been revealed in another Urban Explorers video, and this made it all too clear that the Frenchman's abandoned cars are not the same as the ones found in Maryland. It's just a big coincidence. Stallone fans then became desperate for other theories to explain the viral video away. There's been one more theory that has managed to carry some weight. It suggests that the abandoned property featured in the video belongs to Sly Stone, the leader of the musical group Sly and the Family Stone. This would explain the vanity license plates. Sly Stone having abandoned the property would also make a lot more sense financially than Stallone having abandoned it. While Sylvester is estimated to be worth around $400 million, Sly Stone is verifiably homeless. Sylvester previously abandoned his Palm Springs mansion. Given the current facts, it seems more likely that the property belongs to Sly Stone. But muddying the waters of the story even more is the fact that there was a property that Sylvester certifiably did abandon in the 2010s. Prior to 2010, Sylvester lived in a Palm Springs mansion among some of the wealthiest citizens of California. Even though he's worth $400 million, he started to feel like the odd one out amongst these wealthy citizens and decided he wanted to find a home someplace else. He found a new place in Palm Beach, Florida, and left his Palm Springs home abandoned. His mansion was abandoned for several years before it was recently sold to pop idol Adele for a staggering sum. During the time it was abandoned, there were many luxury cars sitting at it. It wasn't technically abandoned as it was on the market, but it was so expensive that it took many years to be sold. It sold for $58 million, and Sylvester downsized to a home that only cost $35 million. Despite that downgrade, it seems Sylvester is far from being in dire financial straits. In the web of rumors that has come about as a result of the viral Urban Explorers video, the one certifiable truth would seem to be that Sylvester Stallone is a man who loves his luxury cars. Whether or not the luxury cars that were abandoned ever belonged to Sylvester is still open for debate, but he has plenty of them in his collection. Some of the most prized cars in his collection include his Bugatti Veyron, 1932 Highboy Hot Rod, and Rolls-Royce Phantom. Sylvester Stallone is still a high roller. Stallone's Bugatti Veyron seems to be his favorite car to drive around in. It cost a staggering $1.7 million and it's painted all black. It has 1,200 horsepower and is said to reach 60 miles an hour in just under 3 seconds. If Sylvester ever finds himself in a situation where he needs money fast, he could sell this car and live for a couple years just off of that. His 1932 Highboy Hot Rod gets out less, but it's just as impressive. In fact, this 330 horsepower beauty may be even more impressive than the competition on account of its classic status. Finally, the most luxurious car in Stallone's vast and impressive collection may very well be his Rolls-Royce Phantom. It's another vehicle he loves going out on the town in. It boasts 453 horsepower, more than enough for taking Sylvester to and from his fancy dinners. All things considered, it appears as if the iconic Rocky and Rambo star is pretty far from having to abandon his luxurious life. Now it's time to hear from you. Did you know that Sylvester Stallone collects rare luxury cars? Let us know in the comment section below.